Today we're going to be talking about the energy that it takes to turn a cold prospect into a happy paying customer. This is extremely important for you if you run a lead generation agency, so you know what it actually takes to get clients and you know how to optimize for that. And you also need to understand this so you're able to deliver good results for your clients and explain your offer and all the concepts inside of it. When you actually understand the things behind this, it's going to make your life as a lead generation agency owner 1,000 times easier and you're going to make a lot more money. The way that I'm going to be demonstrating this is something that I have learned from one of my mentors, Nick Cosmin. For some of you OGs, this looks familiar. That's why, because Nick has actually talked about it and I just think that this is so important. And this is basically, we're going to use this to demonstrate the actual energy it takes to turn an ice cold prospect here. This blue box here demonstrates an ice cold prospect and how we're going to turn that ice cold prospect into an actual happy paying customer. And of course, the most efficient way to get from here, from point A to point B, is a straight line. So basically, for us to successfully turn someone from completely ice cold, they have never seen you, they have never heard of you, they don't really know what you do. In order for us to take that person or that company to a happy paying customer, we need a lot of energy. And energy can be measured in many ways. Here we're going to be measuring it in joules. So the work that it takes. So basically we need to push a lot of force, joules, into this machine to move this block down the line. So how are we able to input energy and force in this block so we are able to move it down the line? So here we have a few different things, as you can see, and all of these things generate energy. So first we have an ice cold prospect here. They have never seen you, they're on the first stage, they're completely ice cold, they have never heard of you, never seen you, none of that stuff. So the first thing that happens and that needs to happen is they see an ad from you or they get an outbound prospecting message from you. In my case and in most of our customers' cases, it's going to be an outbound prospecting message. So they get an email from you, they get a cold call from you, or they get a LinkedIn message from you, wherever it is, but it's an outbound prospecting message. And this basically gets them into our world. That's the first touch point that they get. And when they receive that outbound prospecting message from you, it's going to move them a bit down the line. We're going to be putting 200 joules of energy into this prospect. So we are going to be moving them from ice cold a bit down the line because they get the outbound message from you. Or also something else that can happen, maybe you're writing LinkedIn content, or maybe they see an article from you or a YouTube video from you or a case study from you. This might not happen every single time, but let's say that it does happen, they see a LinkedIn post from you. So again, that's going to put 200 joules into the system and push them a bit more down the line. After that, they're going to go check your landing page. They see some copywriting there, they see the headline, they see some testimonials and case studies, etc. That's going to push a bit more energy to them, and then we're going to come into the heavy hitter. And this is why VSL is extremely powerful. So if you have a good VSL, you have good mid-funnel content, that's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So it's going to put 300 joules and it can be even way more. Let's say you have a 2-hour really engaging VSL and the prospect ends up going through that whole thing. That's going to be tremendous amount of energy put into it because they see your offer, they see your case studies, they see how much value it has, they see your mechanism, they see your face, they see your background story, all of that stuff. So that's gonna again push a bit more energy down the line. Already we have done a bunch of stuff. We have sent a message, they have seen our VSL, they have maybe seen some of our content, but they're still pretty far from being a happy paying customer. And this is what a lot of people miss. They think that it's just like, yeah, we just send some emails and they're gonna be ready to buy. But that's not true. As you can see, there's a lot of distance to cover here. So what happens next? Maybe they opt into their VSL, they start getting some automatic email marketing automations. It's gonna put 20 joules into the machine. This is also why we don't really recommend you focusing on email marketing automations, etc. for like warm leads in the beginning, because as you can see, it doesn't really move the needle that much. After that, they have seen your content, they have seen your VSL, they have gotten an outbound message from you or an ad, they have scrolled around your landing page and they're finally ready to book a call. A discovery call, a well done discovery call that can move the needle a lot. So that moves them down the line, 400 joules. Boom! You go to the discovery call, they're like, okay, this sounds amazing. You're like, okay, bet, let's book a demo call. And we're gonna actually present our solution, I'm gonna give you the pitch, I'm gonna give you the offer, I'm gonna give you the pricing, and you do a demo call with them and you push 500 joules into the machine and they get somewhere around here. Again, you might not close them immediately from the demo call, depending on how good your discovery and demo calls are, if your VSL was really good, if you have sent them follow-ups, if they have seen more of your content. Depending on all of those factors, they're going to be either here. In some cases, you go to the demo call and they close immediately, and if that happens, what it means is you have done really good job here in the first few things. Maybe you have sent them really good emails, or they have seen really good VSL from you, or you have really good stuff on your landing page, or the discovery call was really good. Depending on those factors, they can be way closer or they can be way farther away. This is gonna look a bit different for every prospect based on how good of a job you do with each one of these things. Do a demo call, they're really close here and they don't close immediately. So what a lot of people do is they quit here. They're like, they didn't close, I'll go to the next one. But that's a huge mistake because you have done so much work here. You have put so much energy into them. You have moved them from being completely ice cold to now being really close to it. And you quit here like, they didn't close, they don't want it, I'll move on to the next one, I'll start getting some more calls. That's so dumb. They have gotten an outbound prospecting message from you, they have seen your content, they have seen your landing page, they have gone through your VSL, they have gone through a discovery and demo call. They're like so close here. You just need that one finisher. You need like 50 to 100 joules to push into them, and you're like, they don't want it, they don't want to buy it. But if you're smart, what you're gonna do is you're gonna send a personalized follow-up to them, or maybe a multiple ones, and you're gonna send some video testimonials, case studies, some extra resources, and boom, that's gonna push them into being a paying customer. They're not a happy paying customer yet because they're not fully there. They're a paying customer. And then you're gonna finish it off with a really good onboarding process. You're gonna show that you're a professional, you're gonna show that you know what you're doing, you're gonna show that you're actually a really good agency to work with, and that's gonna turn them into a happy paying customer. Like, the main thing that I want you to understand here is that it is not just the one thing that makes the difference. A lot of people think that, okay, I'm not signing clients, my emails are bad, or I'm not signing clients, so my VSL is bad, I need to make a new VSL. But as you can see, if you're trying to convert completely cold traffic and completely cold people who don't know you at all, there's a lot of force that you need to push into it. And all of these small things push a bit of force into the prospect every single time. There can be a lot of other things as well, but this is just mainly from my experience from running a lead generation agency, scaling it hard, and just from seeing what our customers do as well. And these are the big needle movers that most of you guys are going to be using. A big mistake that I see a lot of people make is after they turn into a customer, they are like, okay, boom, they start celebrating, and then they go through a really shitty onboarding process. What it's going to do, it's going to leave them hanging here. They're never going to be fully committed. They're never going to be like extremely happy working with you. So you won't get the same kind of retention and a customer relationship. And also the second thing, you might have noticed, but I have here reference from customer, and that inputs 10,000 joules into the system. So you might be wondering, okay, what can I do to input 10,000 joules into the system? So referrals are extremely powerful. Like a good example story. I was hiring for an executive assistant / customer success manager, like a hybrid person in our company. And I went into one of our Slack channels that had one of my mentors on it, one of my coaches. They helped me with some marketing stuff and some operational stuff in the business. I asked him, because of course I trust him, he's one of my coaches, so I was like, yo bro, like what should I do? Like I'm looking for a EA/CSM, I need to hire someone good, where should I go hire from? And he told me, yo, actually on the same group, like it's like a mastermind coaching thing, on the same mastermind we have this one dude, they run a company and they basically place people from Eastern Europe to your company, and they are extremely good. We have used it. I know a lot of people who have used them. So this is the guy's name. He's on the same Slack channel. I'm like, okay, bet. I just messaged the guy. I'm like, yo bro, this is what I need. He's like, okay, we can do that for you. I asked him, how much does it cost? He's like, okay, this much. I'm like, okay, boom, send an invoice. And in like 6 minutes from me never hearing about the guy, I have never heard from him, and in 6 minutes I had paid him a pretty good chunk of money. I never went through their VSL, I never got an ad or a message from them, I never went through a discovery call or a demo call, I never even talked to the guy. Like, we handled everything on Slack. That's because it was a reference, so it pushed me immediately, okay, I trust the guy, I got recommended, boom, and it immediately turned me into a happy paying customer right here. So what you can learn from this is fucking ask for referrals. Like, you of course want to have as many referrals as you can. It shouldn't be the only acquisition method you're relying for, because that's a big no-no that a lot of marketing agencies and a lot of just traditional companies do. Every time when you have a customer that is getting good results, call him up or hop on a call with him. Yo, John, you probably know some people who could also benefit from this service that I'm doing, so can you give me 3 phone numbers or email addresses of some people that come to mind when you think about working with us? And they're like, okay, here. And then when you hit them up, you immediately have the 10,000 joules that you can input into the system and turn them and convert them extremely easy. But yeah, this is just something that I wanted you to understand, because when you understand this and when you're able to explain this to your customers, and when you also have this in your mind, your sales and client acquisition and marketing is just going to be 1,000 times more efficient, and you know actually what you should be doing. If you have a prospect that isn't converting yet, but you have talked with them for a long time, okay, can you input some joules some other way into the process? Can you provide them more value? Can you send them personalized looms? Can you give them testimonials or references or case studies? Can you send some articles to them? Can you send them to a new VSL? Or what can you do to push more joules, input more joules into the system? And then when you're able to nail it down, customer, good onboarding process, a happy paying customer. Also, just a second quick mention is if you're looking to build a lead generation agency and you're looking to scale it to $10,000 a month, go check agentvelocity.io. We have a presentation there. We basically do that for our clients. We have helped over 100 people do that in the past few months. So go check agentvelocity.io out. Let us help a bit if that's something that you're interested in. Otherwise, that's for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Drop me a like, drop me a dislike if you didn't like it, subscribe, unsubscribe, I don't care. The one thing that I actually care about is if you go into the comment section and you tell me what did you think about the video or what other type of content you would like to see from me, because my whole goal in YouTube is just to create as much useful content as I can, and the only way I can do that is to actually have you guys tell me what you want to see. See you on the next video. Peace.